Well, for the third time in as many years, Ohio lawmakers are considering legislation that would ban hair discrimination in public schools and workplaces.
It is called the Crown Act, and it's the law in 22 states, but not here in Ohio. Advocates are hoping to change that.
Sia Nyorkor now has been following this development for our Next 400 series from the very beginning. She's in studio now with the latest. Sia.
Yes, Tiffany and Chris. The Crown Act was originally introduced here in Ohio back in March of 2020, but after several hearings, it failed to move forward for a vote. The sponsors tried again in 2022 and it stalled, but now this third time could be a charm as there's bipartisan support to get this done. Last Tuesday, State Representative Juanita Brent faced her fellow lawmakers at the Ohio House Civil Justice Committee meeting and officially introduced legislation that she's been pushing for since 2020, the Crown Act, an acronym for Create a Respectful and Open Workplace for Natural Hair.
This is my third time introducing the Crown Act, my third time. I'm very consistent, very persistent. I'm very determined to do this, and I'm just very grateful. I want to acknowledge this publicly. So House Bill 178 is a bill that directly deals with hair discrimination. And if you look at my hair right now, who would have thought that if somebody wanted to get rid of me, I would not be able to take legal cause when it comes to that? I would not be able to take legal cause because somebody at a school or even at a workplace would not want me to have braids in my hair.
This time, Representative Brent has bipartisan support from co-sponsor Representative Jamie Callender, who shared his own personal stories but acknowledged others.
I don't like any discrimination that takes away your right of free speech. But this bill is much deeper than that. It also deals with actual discrimination. There are some folks, through birth, through ancestry, whose hair is different than others.
Since inception in 2019, the Crown Act combats hair discrimination by ensuring that hairstyles historically associated with race, such as afros, braids, locks, and natural hair, are protected in public schools and workplaces. The Crown Act is law in 22 states, but is not yet federal law. Earlier today at the State House, the Civil Justice Committee heard testimony from leaders around the state who support this legislation and want to pass it into law here in Ohio.
More than 30 cities around the state of Ohio have adopted protections against these discriminatory practices, including Akron, Cincinnati, Columbus, and Cleveland Heights. As recent as yesterday, even the state of Texas has now adopted its own act.
No one should have to worry about future success or fear of losing their job, being sent home from school, or dehumanized because of how they wear their hair. Everyone deserves to live their authentic selves without fear of retaliation.
So tomorrow there are a number of things happening. There's a press conference planned at the State House with the co-sponsors of that bill, Brent and Callender. Also, the Cleveland chapter of the NAACP has chartered a bus, and they're sending folks down there to advocate for the Crown Act to be passed. And lastly, Representative Brent tells me there will be a panel discussion in the State House Theater called All Hair is Good Hair tomorrow at noon. For those who are interested, I will be down there in Columbus covering all of this for 19 News, so you could expect my reports on air, online, and I look forward to all of this.
Right, yeah. Should also mention that Sia is up for a couple of Emmy awards on this incredible story she's done. 19 News has an ongoing effort to combat racism in our community. If you have a story that you would like for us to cover in the Next 400 series, send us an email to the next400 at WOIO.com.